Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 3 from the GSL Group B. If you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, this is not the video to watch, as here in the bottom right, spawning as the blue Protoss player, we have a hero. Alright. And in the top left, of course, Monsieur Cure, the man, the myth, the legend, the player with currently the second highest worldwide versus Protoss rating as a Terran player. Just ever so slightly behind Maru. Ever so slightly. I think it was 20 or 25 points on Illegal Lock. Has been on an absolute tear as of late, this guy. Been showing like, hey, they lowered the prize pool in the GSL. Now it's my time to win it. he wants to show what's good. Freaking Cure. An absolute monster. And I'm really curious what he's going to be playing here. The funny thing with Cure is that when you think of Maru, right? He does a lot of things that seem impossible to copy. Like the micro, the quick APM. Cure is a more human player, if you will. He's a person that you believe that you would be capable of copying. You look at him, it's like, yeah, he plays fairly standard. You know, doesn't do any crazy aggression, like with a medevac killing 35 workers. No, he just makes solid decisions. And with those decisions, gets ahead in the game. And then he wins the game. That tends to be the game plan. Just make good decisions. Don't mess it up. And you're going to be all right. You're going to go far, kid. That's what Cure basically says here. We have hero, by the way, with a quick Zealot after a core before Nexus with a no scout. So a very peculiar little opener. As SCV pops in, sees that Zealot. That's a pretty big tell as well. Ooh, look at that. Gas gets cancelled in the main base. So I think hero, in case the SCV goes into scout, he wants to fake that he has a gas. That is such an interesting approach here. I freaking love that. I really do enjoy that. That is a massively interesting one. Look at the Zealot dancing here with the Reaper. And this is not a dance that the Zealot usually enjoys. Well, the Zealot just is not a great dancer, honestly. Reaper is way more nimble, right? A little bit more flexible in the body. Oh, big grenade there hitting. Let's get a couple of hits off on that Reaper nonetheless. And we see a proxy gate here coming out. So a cancel on the assimilator into 3 gate. We have a chrono boost on the warp gate. And because of that Reaper Zealot dance in the middle, the Reaper did not actually manage to find anything here. Did not get any damage, did not get any scouting information. And now this, yeah, the Reaper Hellion, basically the duo, needs to get something done here. They need to get some information, because otherwise they're just going to be in, honestly, massive trouble. I do not envy Cure's position currently in this game. He is going to have a fairly late starport because of that Reaper opener. So his next scout, well, it needs to be good. This Reaper needs to find some information. It needs to get the information right now. And if it doesn't, I think Cure might just be in a little bit of trouble, because there's going to be 6 gateway units popping out soon. And Cure's completely unaware as to what is happening. He doesn't know if this is Stargate. He doesn't know. He has absolutely no clue what this is. Zealot is going to stay at home, probably to try and chase after any potential Reapers. I guess that's the plan here. If the Reaper shows up, he's like, hey, look at this. Look at what I can do. At the same time, though, 6 Adept going to make their way across the map. As this depot is just not quite done yet. Oh, starts. 1 Adept is going to be pushed away. But look at this little fight over here. That's a lot of Marines going down straight away. 1 more might end up falling. Yep, there we go. So we have 1 worker, 2nd worker going down now as well. Let's see what hero's plans are. He wants to take out an SCV on the low ground. He has 2 options, of course. He can just basically jump on top of these SCVs, but he instead wants to go onto the high ground and say, hey, I'm going to start attacking your depot. If you don't respond with an SCV pool, I'll be in your main base, so you need to pull SCVs. But if you pull SCVs, I can target down those SCVs. There's no winning here for Cure, who's dropping in the worker count at a very rapid pace, 30 workers to 38 right now. There's Blink on the way behind this as well. We have a robotics facility coming out. This has been a fantastic start for hero, who's going to be looking at this situation and tell himself that he's done a good job, and no one can tell him otherwise. Look at this as well. No extra infrastructure yet here for Cure. Starts his 2nd barracks 4 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. Barracks takes 46 seconds. Then you still need to start Stim, which takes another 100 seconds. So we're 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 26 seconds away from Stim finishing. We'll be hitting into the early 7th minute. Or well, 7:20 or so, 7:15. Yeah, something along those lines. That is fairly late. I even think that hero is playing way too passive here. I think he could have gotten a faster third base if he had gotten any of that information. Faster third base, maybe some added in tech as well. Thinking a Robo Bay, a Templar Archives. There's so much time right now to get that going, and yet he's not doing it. We have a second barracks on the way. Also, on top of that, by the way, to make matters even worse for Cure here, is that he's not going to have +1 with that first push. This is often the... You know, it gives the Terrans some bragging rights that, yes, you know, they only have crap units like the Marines, they don't have cool tech like Protoss players, but they will have +1, which TOS often doesn't have. So, yeah, I'm not feeling this position at all for Cure here. This is an interesting move though. Playing a 9 Stalker attack on this particular map, I think usually is a bad call. Will snipe the Raven here, but it's going to lose a lot of Stalkers. 5 Stalkers going down immediately. This is a terrible map to blink on, to blink in on. And yeah, this just wasn't good. 5 Stalkers for 2 SCVs and 3 Marines. That is an awful trade here for hero. He's going to lose a little bit of map control with that as well. And I mean, the tanks were already built. Should have definitely scouted before jumping in there. I guess he got a Raven as well, which you could say is somewhat valuable, but losing 10 supply there was not worth it at all for hero. We see that represented in the supply here as well. Cure right now feeling a little bit feisty after taking out these Stalkers, seeing the recalls. Like, hey, I could probably freely move across the map right now. Isn't that true? Hero is massively cutting workers. He's on 68 at the moment. And despite his pretty decent early game and the expected late push here out of Cure, I'm afraid that hero might actually be in a little bit of trouble. His storm isn't done yet. His charge isn't quite done yet either. Like, we're a long way away from hero being secure here. His third base is so late. What is this? I feel like that third base is way too late. Way too much aggression here coming out of hero. After an already aggressive early game, I think he could have just macroed up and be fine. Now, he's still in an okay position because he's perhaps going to get storm against this. Combat shield is not done. +1 is not done. Are there charge lots? There are a couple of charge lots. There's also a single Archon. Does this Templar... Oh, it's going to morph all the Templars into Archon. So we're going to go for 2 Archons here. A double Archon play. One of them will come in with a flank. Not so sure if Cure is aware of that. Oh, here comes the Prism. Well, there goes the Prism, I guess. Archon does get dropped in the middle of all of those Marines. We'll take out a couple. This is a doable fight, I think, for hero as he takes out a bunch of those tanks. 1 tank is still remaining, though, and the final Archon goes down. That means there's no more tanking for this army. Stalkers need to blink back right now. And once more, this gateway is under some heavy fire here. On top of that, also, you have the threat, the constant threat of these medevacs dropping in towards the main base. As hero will... Oh, pick off 1, pick off 2. Nice split shot there out of hero as well, making sure that within, I think it was like 2-3 volleys, completely destroys that. Now here, double feedbacks make sure that the medevacs can't heal anymore. So some nice plays coming out of hero defensively. Does not have any upgrades though, and is looking for some damage. That observer is absolutely paying dividends here for hero. Already taking out 2 medevacs and now just maneuvering very wisely with those stalkers. Mine will try to hit the prism, as we'll have a little bit of an attack here once again out of Cure. I should have definitely seen that observer. That was clear as day in my opinion. Double Templar, no storm available yet. Here comes a massive drop in towards the main base. I'm not so sure if hero is ready for this. He has a recall available. We'll need to recall. There we go. Super battery gets activated immediately. Is there a blink available? Perhaps one more blink, one more blink, one more blink. Just barely not available, I guess. As we see the third CC finally landing for Cure. Don't forget, worker count still scarily close, which is bad for hero. Upgrades massively in favor here of Cure, and that will continue going on. If these ghosts pop out before the next attack out of hero, I'm giving very little chances to hero in this game. Because he's currently stuck on a pure gateway army that sucks against Ghost. Cure needs the win time. Cure needs the buy time. I think Cure is aware of this as well. And these 3 Ghosts are going to finish up. Now will be the timing to throw down an armory as well as a second eBay in my opinion. Does feel to be correct here in this case. Or maybe he just wants to commit here to a massive 1-1 timing attack. This is possible. Don't forget, there's nothing really to clear mines. There's 8 mines and there's 20 zealots. When it comes to a battle between mines and zealots, the zealot usually dies. Not quite what you want for mines here. A little bit out of position. This army is completely out of position. Goes in an awkward angle as well. We get 1 EMP. Kind of misses. 2 EMP still available. 1 feedback will connect. Second EMP hits, though, on at least a couple of these stalkers. Where's the rest of Cure's army? Cure right now, being caught completely off guard, will start losing workers at a very high pace. There's no storms available. They're so close, but not quite. Okay, now, here we go. Can we get a storm? 1 storm hits. Second storm hits. No more EMPs, but also not quite enough units to tank for this Protoss army. There's a lot of cash in the bank, but it's not being spent right now for hero, and I think that Cure might just have done it, throwing down that armory behind it, but he can start marching across the map with these 6 ghosts that he has, and there is no counter to the ghost currently. We have 5 zealots, 1 stalker, 2 templar, and 1 disruptor about to pop out. We're gonna need to see the purification nova of a lifetime, taking out every single ghost and maybe 4 marauders with it as well, and even then this fight would still be close. Super battery gets activated. Here comes the disruptor shot. Big attack. This is a potentially very big hit, but I still don't think it's going to be big enough. It's the mines also putting quite a bit of work there. This Archon will not finish up, and I think this game is going to end relatively soon here, as there's just nothing that can break the unit. GG gets called. Cure wins game number 1. Puts himself on match point. In game number 2 here on Gressvan, once again we see a quick SCV scout coming out of Cure. Does want to go up into the main base and even really poke his head up there. Say hello. What you doing, buddy? What you doing? And so far hero is... Ooh. Ah, yeah. This is a build. I've seen him play this, and I can't recall where I've seen him play this, but I copied this build for a little bit. It's a really fun build order. This is an adept into sentry build, into 3 gate with a very fast 3rd base. How can I not recall where I saw this? Ooh, he played against a marauder build. I think he actually did it on this map as well. I'm pretty sure it was on this map where he played it. Yeah, so he sticks to 2 gas. I thought he pulled 2 out of gas, but I guess he doesn't. You get a fast scout with a hallucination, really quick 3rd base. You can oftentimes get it before your 3rd pylon even. Oh, he changed the build a little bit. I can't recall there being a 2nd sentry at least. Now he's trying to hide the fact that he has a 3rd base. So he gets a kill here on this little Reaper. Definitely gonna get it. And here indeed comes the Nexus. Yes. Before the 3rd pylon, now you get a 3rd pylon. This is a beautiful build. So you go for a scout, and then based on what you see, you can respond with this hallucination. You can respond with your tech choices, basically. Most of the time we'll see a Forge and a Twilight, I think, but in case of something like a 3-Rex, we might see a delayed robotics facility. I believe that the proper response here is Forge, Twilight. Yep. Gonna scout it. Indeed starts with the Forge and the Twilight. Now the question that I have is, will he go straight for charge, or might this still be blink first? If you compare this particular build order, of course, with a regular blink build, this has way more eco, but your blink is very delayed. Blink usually finishes at about 428. Right now blink hasn't even started yet, so yeah, you're gonna be a fair chunk behind with the blink upgrade, which means that there's a possibility if your opponent pushes out with stim and combat, you won't have blink and charge. So if you open with blink, you'll need to heavily rely on the use of force fields and higher stalker counts, which can be a little bit annoying. While if you open with charge, you don't really have any catch for any mid-game drops, or also for this type of drop. It's a single mine here, it's heading in towards the main base. Hero, quick to pull, quick enough to pull at least, yeah. Loses 2 workers at the same time. Hellion into the natural, takes out 1 worker, takes out 2 workers, takes out 3 workers, takes out 4. 6 worker kills, 4 coming out of the Hellion. That's not how I expected this sequence to go. It's a little bit unfortunate here for Hero, who indeed is focusing on sentries, stalkers, and having a good time. But that good time just got ruined a little bit. He should be very close to full saturation already on his 3rd base at this point, but due to losing those 6 workers, especially the 4 to the Hellion, that plan has been ruined just a tiny tad. Stim has just started. Second barracks is on the way. Why is this barracks being built all the way over here? Does he not like the tech lab? Or maybe he has a fight with this barracks? Hey, he's still gonna need to fly to this tech lab. You might as well just build a little closer, no? Am I the idiot here? Maybe he wants to make his own tech lab. He doesn't want to... doesn't use second-hand tech labs. Like one of those people. You know, perfectly fine code. It's only been worn once by an old grandma. Used it to go grocery shopping on the Sundays. What's wrong with it? It's just a fine tech lab. Yeah. We can use it. Nice combat shield. Going up to 6 gates right now. And one of the fun things about this build order actually is that you delay your infrastructure for quite a long time and you're consistently warping in. So you can really burst your eco while still having a large army. And then you need to wait a little bit for your gateways to finish, then you'll be fine. Look how quick this first upgrade is as well. It's so fast. +1 done at 620. This is extremely uncommon. Now he's going to try and stop this move out as well. I really enjoy watching this build order in action. I think it is very powerful. I really do believe that. It's a very powerful build order, but the hardest timing to hold is the timing where you don't have charge yet and you're fighting against this type of army, basically. So we'll see if Cure will be willing to risk it. Move across the map. Of course, Cure isn't quite aware of what is going on. He's been confused. Didn't get a whole lot of information. Just now scanned and saw the Twilight and the Forge here. He probably saw the Twilight still spinning. But his combat isn't even done yet. This charge is getting closer and closer to finishing. I wouldn't mind seeing a Templar Archive being added in just for a single Archon or so. There's 4 sentries, so there is an ability here to delay this push. I think if you're hero in this case, you might even want to move down this ramp initially to kind of force field this area to stop them from even coming down. Gets the scout here with the zealot. Huge scout. Absolutely massive scout. Now can reposition his army. Needs to start setting up a zealot flank as well. Without a zealot flank, this will be hard to hold. Follows it up with double robo bay. Here comes the anti-armor missile. As tanks now start sieging up. Charge still not done, but is about to. Super battery hasn't been shot yet. Hasn't been activated. And there's 10 gateways, which means that every second that goes by is a good second here for hero. Whose zealots are now across the map, trying to do a little bit of damage here. Take out 2 workers. Something got taken out. I think that was the cannon there. You see the head of the cannon on the floor. It's the Terran's version of cutting off a pig's head and putting it in your bed. They do it with cannon heads. Like showing some strength to the Protoss. This is a nice defensive setup though for hero. He needs to go. Oh no! Loses the battery before he can use the super battery. And that was such a well-positioned one as well. That makes this fight so much harder because he's working with a lot of range units who really would have benefited from that super battery. Now he'll need to move back further a little bit. Still has 2 immortals remaining. There's a lot of cash in the bank, which means that a big round of zealot warp-in should save him most likely. Has 64 workers, has an eco advantage and has good upgrades as well with the 1-1, but this is a really tense situation in which I think Cure might be winning these trades again and again and again. There's more reinforcements walking forward. These mines now are burrowing in as well. These 4 Marines get taken out for free. That is big, but that's the first disruptor that will not come out because the Robo gets sniped. Next Robo also under some heavy fire here. The assault continues. Infantry armor level 1 about to finish up. Will equalize the upgrades in this game. Battery does not have any energy remaining. So 1 immortal gets sniped. 2nd immortal perhaps about to die as well. Disruptor pops on out. Here comes the purification nova. But the splits are good. Only a single marauder will fall. And with the battery still on cooldown, the super battery that is, I think that Cure might actually just be taking this series here. So many medevacs, so much sustain for this small amount of units that are still around. Super battery tries to activate, but it can't. It's gone. That's it. Hero is going to get blasted here by one of the best TVP players in the world. Cure showing how it's done. Honestly, not necessarily even great starts, not necessarily understanding what was happening, but still making the correct call, still having solid enough micro and decision making when to take these fights. But it doesn't really seem to matter. Hero is desperate to win this game, but he's losing probes at a very high pace. 1 more warp in. I think this is just going to be it. Armory on the way, 2nd eBay. Liberators are being added in here as well, as I guess medevacts aren't really necessary anymore if you have 10 of them and You only have 9 Marauders, 13 Marines. Some nice individual pickup micro there as well, as Cure is just styling on his opponent at this point. And hero, well, will be forced to tap out momentarily, I can only imagine. I mean, he's down to 60 supply against 150. As the next wave of units shows up. One more Purification Nova is going to try and connect, but gets absolutely nothing. And here hero will realize that it's over indeed. GG gets called. Cure wins this game, wins this series 2-0, and qualifies himself for the round of 8 in the GSL. So yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you did enjoy this. Thanks so much for the GSL for making these replays available on their Patreon, patreon.com/GSL. All the money there will go directly into the prize pool. Currently, I think it's on 8 or 9K a month. So that's a very decent chunk of cash here being added into those players' lives. I'm sure they're grateful for it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.